Welcome, everyone. I'm really excited to talk to you about the next SU Teaches SU presentation. And it's going to be how to invest in the stock market. It's going to be provided us by the one and only Mr. Carlos Salcido. Wanted to introduce you a little bit about himself, and I have true honor and privilege. Mr. Carlos Salcido is a current instructor for the College of Business. If you haven't taken any of his classes yet, he teaches your introduction to accounting, as well as social media advertising and QuickBooks classes as well. That includes the certification for QuickBooks that he offers as well. He's an avid entrepreneur. He's going to talk a little bit about that as well himself. And just so you know a little bit too, he loves coffee. He loves bringing coffee, making everyone smile. That's for a fact. And I do have some really bad news for those ladies out there. He's about to get married this year. So we're also very excited to hear from him about that as well. Not only that, Mr. Salcido, he was chosen, and rightfully so, as the Teacher of the Year for 2020-2021 for Southeast University. So without further ado, here to introduce Mr. Carlos Salcido on how to invest in the stock market. And take it away, Mr. Salcido. Thank you for doing this for us.
No. First of all, I welcome all of you. Thank you for being here. And that was an amazing presentation. Not even my wife can present me like that. So thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very happy for being here, trying to share something that I learned during these years. I'm very happy, as Jose mentioned, I'm an accounting instructor, also an online marketing instructor as well at Southwest University. I'm kind of nervous, to be honest, but I'm very confident and very happy that everything is going to be fine. So, as you mentioned, I'm getting married this year in October. Okay, I'm in love, to be honest, and I love coffee. I enjoy coffee, and please, if you have any questions, it doesn't matter if it's related to the stock market or about the presentation or anything you might need in the future, please make sure to contact me. I'm here to help. I'm here to share everything I know with you. So let's get started then. As many of you know, I teach accounting. I love accounting. I do taxes. I help people with their taxes. I also help people to invest in the stock market. And then I also provide online marketing consulting, and I also help them with their web page design. Okay, I have an expensive girlfriend, so I keep myself busy and productive. Okay, so thank you very much for this opportunity to teach you or share my experience in the stock market. I know that nowadays we heard and we are familiar with the stock market because during the pandemic it went down, and many of you heard or read on the news that you should start investing in the stock market because it's going up, and the stimulus that the government provide us, it's actually going into the stock market, and I think we're in a bubble. So I think before we start investing and we start getting stocks from companies and corporations, we should know or at least have an idea of what are those, what's the stock market, how the finance world function, right? So welcome again, and let's get started. Okay. Oh my God, what happened? Sorry. Okay, as I mentioned, my full name is Carlos Alfonso Salcido Luján. My mom watched so many telenovelas, so it's a long name. Okay, I graduated from the University of Texas at El Paso as an accountant, and as soon as I graduated, I started as an accounting tutor at a PCC. Then I started working at a CPA firm as a staff accountant, and once I finished on my duties on the CPA firm, I worked for the government as well as an accountant for the U.S. Forest Department. And after 1.5 years, I decided to apply as an instructor at Southwest University, and now I'm a teacher. I'm also pursuing a certification as a forensic accountant. Okay, we don't deal with dead people. Okay, we deal with financial crimes. We investigate money laundering, asset misappropriation, fraud, healthcare fraud, insurance fraud, and blah blah blah. Anything related to financial crimes. Okay. And as I mentioned, I also do accounting and bookkeeping. I help people to invest in the stock market, and I do their marketing and web design. And I also opened last year a small sushi business. And later on, I will give you the website so you can order it. Okay. But before we move on into this presentation, I would like to ask, how much do you know about the stock market? So I think we are all familiar with Amazon. So do you guys have any idea where it's listed? Well, first of all, Amazon it's a public company and it's listed in the stock market. But do you know on which one? Is it in the New York Stock Exchange, Nasdaq, London Stock Exchange, or, well, I already told you that it's a public company, so it's not a private entity. So, any guess? Well, it's listed in the Nasdaq. Okay, here in the United States, we have two major indexes or stock exchanges. We have the New York Stock Exchange, and then we have the Nasdaq. Okay, later on we will talk about them. Okay, and then any idea what's in the stock? Do you think it's the total value of the company divided into sheets of paper representing the ownership of to sell for investors, or any idea what's in the stock? All right, I'm reading you. Okay, so, oh my God, what's going on? So yes, those stock, there's a small part of the corporations that companies get listed or go public into the stock market or stock indexes, so they can start selling their own like small pieces of the company. Okay, who can invest in the stock market? Like who? Just millionaires, or actually everyone can invest in the stock market. That's why I would like to share that knowledge with you. Okay, so how much do you need? Like, I remember I mentioned my mom a long time ago, 10 years ago, that I wanted to invest in the stock market, and she told me that I was crazy. Actually, many friends, they told me like, oh no, just rich people can invest in the stock market or whatever. No, actually, we can start with at least $10. Like, I encourage you to be not afraid of money. Like, if you would like to invest $1,000, how much can you lose? You just can lose that $1,000. But how much can you make? We don't know. So you're more afraid of losing $1,000 than probably making 10,000. So money is something material. So the more you don't care about money, the more you will get. So just don't be afraid of making money. Okay. So welcome to the stock market. Okay, this presentation hopefully will help you to understand that the stock market is not difficult. Okay, the stock market is not difficult, and it can open us so many doors to achieve our financial needs. Okay, I heard that, oh, the stock market is very risk. No, everything is a risk. Like, even buying a car is a risk, buying your home is a risk, getting a new job is a risk, getting married is a risk, right? Everything is a risk, but how much risk can we manage? That's up to you. Okay, so everything is a risk, and not just for being in the stock market, it's riskier. Okay, so as I mentioned, forget about how much you can lose, focus on how much you can make. Okay, and obviously, if you are going to open a business, right? Like, okay, I think many of us have thought about like, oh, I want to be my own boss. I want to open my own business and blah blah blah. So I think open a business is it has the same risk as investing in the stock market, right? Because in the stock market, you can read financial statements, you can make a better decision based on your education, and open a business. You can hire a consultant, you can hire, or you can start doing it your own way, but everything has a risk, okay? So depending on us, how well we manage that risk, okay? But knowing what's behind the stock exchange is essential for investors, for us, okay? Okay. So why is important to understand the stock market? Okay. So time out. So the stock market, I know you heard about. I don't know if you heard about Enron. So many scandals around Wall Street, like oh, it's just lies. Like they just get rich on everything. They're gonna steal your money. Blah 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 blah. So we all heard about those rumors or those news, right? But this is the place where your dreams can become reality. You know, like you can educate yourself to invest and then start making money, start making, or at least having the experience of being part of the stock market. But being part of like by reading, not by just gambling. Because I have so many friends that they consider themselves investors, but they just invest on whatever they see. Like, oh, I like AMC Cinema, or they like GameStop, or they like Tesla, or they like I don't know any other stock just because they like them, but they don't read and they consider themselves investors. You're not an investor, you're gambling, okay? So it's different, okay? Here we're gonna be investors, okay? So before we move on, we need to learn the type of investors, okay? There's the individual investor and then there's the institutional investor, okay? Individual investors are, we are the individual investors, okay? The ones who decide on which stock to invest. Like we don't put too much money on the stock exchange, okay? We don't have control over the market. And then as I mentioned, let's research decisions, right? And we actually buy and sell quickly, okay? Let's say I decided to buy Walmart stock today, I can resell it in 1 week, okay? Those are the individual investors. And then we have the institutional investors, which they manage large amount investments. They have control over the market. They actually study like full time on those market decisions, and they buy and sell over time. Like let's say on 5-10 years. The institutional investors are going to be the ones who manage your 401k, or if you do let's say I'm sorry, your child swap portfolio over time. Okay, those are going to be the institutional, and they manage billions of dollars, so they actually can manipulate the stock market, but that's illegal. Okay. Okay, so what's the financial industry? Obviously, before we get into the stock market, into that world, we need to know what's the financial industry. Why do we have a stock market? So we think that it's really complicated, or we want to believe that it's complicated. But actually, the financial industry, it's everything related to money, right? We have investors, we have financial advisors, we have lenders, we have borrowers, we have brokers, institutions, we have stocks, we have mutual funds, we have prices, we have credit, we have insurance, we have blah 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 blah. So actually, everything is it's part of the financial industry, okay? But being aware of the true image of what's the financial industry will bring us the amazing and lovely stock market, okay? Oh my God, sorry. So why why does the financial industry exist? Okay, first of all, because we need to differentiate what we want and what we need, right? But from, like, let's say, gold, trade and credit and money was always present in our days. Okay, so money was created like an exchange for goods and services from each other. Okay, with each other. I'm sorry. Uh, in the past, we used to exchange. Let's say if we have a cow and then we want, let's say, cigarettes, we will exchanging that cow, or probably like two cows for a beer or whatever. No, so actually money was the one who, the intermediary who handles the transaction between buyer and sellers. Okay, so we have been evolving, we have been obviously like getting more digital, and we don't exchange cows for cigarettes or cows for beers. Right now we have money, and that's how now we have corporations, right? And then we have the stock market. So now corporations are the ones who are handling the billions of dollars. Okay. Um, so in order to continue with this path of evolution, we needed to have a better way to manage money, right? So actually, the financial industry is just investing, saving, and spending. Okay, that's what the financial industry is. So the stock market is actually the center of all this, where investors, businesses, institutions, public companies make transactions between each other to manage their money, each of them. Okay, so why do we have a stock market? Okay, well, as I mentioned, the stock market is beneficial for both parties, right? For investors and for companies listed on, right? We know that a public company, those are the ones listed in the stock market. Not all companies are public, okay? Many of them are private. So the stock market exists so companies can obtain, or at least try to obtain money from investors without getting into debt, without getting loans from the bank, loans from government, or actually issuing bonds as well, right? So, and for investors like you and me, uh, what's the main reason we invest in the stock market? Well, to earn money, right? We are here to earn money, and institutions are here to probably obtain more money to uh, expand, to hire more employees, to invest on equipment, to increase their capital, as I mentioned, without incurring into a loan or debt. Okay, but what's a stock? What's a stock? Okay, a stock is oh my god, it got frozen. A stock, they are like a little pieces of the value of the company. Okay, they are the purchase and sale of part of the property of a corporation called shares. Okay, if you hear about shares or if you hear about stocks, it's the same thing. Okay, and how do you get into the stock market? How this company can be in the stock market? First of all, they need to do a request, or they usually do what it's called an IPO, or initial public offers. Okay, where companies that publishes their shares for the first time. Okay, that's the event known as initial public offer. Okay, or IPO. The most recent one was the Coinbase. I don't know if you guys are related with the cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, blah 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 blah. So many coins right now. Uh, the most recent one was Coinbase. It's a company that was private and then went public thanks to an IPO, and it's an cryptocurrency exchange that hopefully I can do another presentation for crypto exchanges. Okay, but now we're gonna focus on the stock market. Okay, so investors, we were talking about stocks. So investors, we as in investors buy and sell shares in the stock market, causing the price to go up or go down. Okay, so this is the way prices can be manipulated, right? And it becomes the theory of supplies and demand. If more individuals, or if there's so many people buying shares than sell them, obviously the price is going to go up with demand. Okay, that causes that the prices go up. Okay, if there's more people selling shares than buying them, okay, that's a sign, that's a red flag, like, oh, we should start selling. And that's how people get panicked, right? Like, let's say you have a price target and then it goes below that price target, and then you get panic. You start selling, and then everyone starts selling, and then it's like a waterfall. Okay, everyone starts selling, so the stock price will fall. Okay, I highly recommend to my friends, families, and clients that before we start investing in a company, we should know when to leave. Okay, we cannot behave for emotions with emotions. Okay, we should stick to a plan. It doesn't matter if it go higher or lower. Before we invest, we should know when we should go out. Okay, so just think about the stock market as a big auction. Okay, where people are buying and selling just paper from a public company, and those papers are going to be shares. And that's going to be the theory of supply and demand. Okay, but hopefully you guys now know, or at least have an idea of what's behind the stock market, right? Just not open an account and start putting your money, because it's your money. I don't know. It's hard to start playing with your money. Like, do rational decisions. If you don't understand something, you should not. You should ask for help, or at least like a guidance of how it works, or should I do this? Should I do that instead? It's your money, so hopefully you now have an idea of what's behind the stock market. Okay, so how do we start? That's the main question I get every time. Like, oh, which broker are you using, or on which company should I invest, or can you give me an advice? I can give you my advice, but everything depends on your strategy and your risk management, right? How much are you willing to risk? If you think you cannot handle risk too much, but you would like to invest, I highly recommend like blue chips company. Okay, those blue chips company are gonna be like great corporations such as Walmart, Home Depot, Boeing, um, Target, and those type of companies, right? Established companies, those are going to be the blue chips. But if you're willing to risk like all your investment, you can start like on electric vehicles, you can start on gold, or you can start on Tesla, right? Those risky stocks that can make you rich right away. But as I mentioned, it depends on your style, your risk tolerance, and from that we can make a how do you say it, like a portfolio of your tolerance. Okay, these are like for myself, like the brokers you can open your account. Okay, there's Ally, I have Ally, and I have Robinhood as well, and then I also use Coinbase and Kraken for cryptocurrencies. But as I mentioned, hopefully I can get another opportunity to show you how to invest in the cryptocurrencies. But for now, these are going to be the stock uh, brokers. Okay, I actually recommend Charles Schwab. Okay, they have a great uh, friendly user platform where you can invest. But the fastest and probably the most popular right now, it's going to be Robinhood. Okay, Robinhood, it's easy, it's friendly user, and actually 90% of their users are millennials, right? Like me, I'm still young, okay? But those are going to be the I think the most popular ones. But I highly recommend, if you're going to start as just not as a professional, I highly recommend Robinhood. Okay, so um, actually, this is like the process. They ask you to open a Robinhood account. Okay, here my best friend Donald Trump, he made us the favor to present us how to open a Robinhood account. So they will ask you your name, your user, I'm sorry, your email account, and your password. Okay. Obviously, they ask you your information, your phone number, your address, and where do you live. Okay. Your social security number, your date of birth, and your citizenship. Okay. Just making sure that just actually legal people can just they can invest in the stock market, right? They also ask you for the record if you have experience in the stock market. Obviously, many of us should put, even me, like not much every time we learn something. So I'm not an expert, but Donald it is. He is an expert. And options, those are contracts that advanced settings for investors that we're not going to deal with them. Okay, but we're going to click on no. And they're going to ask us if we're employee, and I can't disclose that information. Okay, but you can, so they can have the record on file. And once you finish, you submit your application and you can start investing in the stock market. Okay, I highly recommend to read before you decide a company. Okay, I highly recommend to not risk your money, because it's hard nowadays to get that money. Like, value everything you have. I'm not saying that don't take the risk, but take an informed risk. Okay, I'm here to help. I'm here to give you a guidance. Okay, probably I'm not an expert, but together we can be experts. Okay, and always remember, if you need inspiring words, don't do it. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. It was a short presentation, but hopefully you you at least have an idea of what the stock market is. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Carlos. This was very informative, very interesting. I wanted to see if anyone has some questions that we can actually present to Carlos right now, so we can ask those questions forward. You can just go ahead and write them in the chat. And I just hear that a lot of people would be interested on the current the cryptocurrency. So one of the questions that we want to know, Carlos, is how much do you have to worry about your taxes if you're pulling out money from your gains? Is that something that
Well,
you have to work on?
yes, actually, those are because you're investing, and those are going to be, if you have gains, those are going to be considered capital gains. Okay, those are going to be capital gains, and depending on the amount of money you earned and on the tax bracket you are going to be, you're going to be taxed. So that specific number can be known till you do your tax return. So yeah, but there's going to be considered capital gains. Obviously, if you have losses, you can put them and reduce your tax liability as well.
Is there a specific amount of taxes that you know that they will take out from your gains, or it
Well,
depends?
actually, our president is trying to change the percentage on capital gains, but it's right now I think it's around 14-15%, but he wants to do a 24% on capital gains.
Okay, great. So again, thank you so much for participating in SU Teaches as You, and we're looking forward to the next meeting that we have with you, and hopefully everyone watches for the next SU Teaches as You presentation that we have. Again, Carlos, fantastic interview, and then thank you everyone for watching. We will see you very soon, and God bless.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Stay safe, guys. Bye.